California wildfires, a growing crisis. Every year, California experiences an average of over 8,000 wildfires. These fires ravage thousands of acres, destroy homes, and pose a constant threat to residents. California's dry climate has always made it prone to fires, but in recent decades, the scale and frequency of these wildfires have increased significantly, creating a growing crisis. In January 2025, something unexpected occurred. On days when the temperature hovered around 20 degrees Celsius, a large-scale fire broke out, which was a surprise for the region. Wildfires are more common in the hotter months, and this unusual fire season caught many off guard. Historically, California's fire season lasted about 78 days on average 50 years ago. However, today this fire season has stretched across the entire year. The dry conditions have been a hallmark of California's climate for years, but they've become even more extreme due to prolonged droughts. The air is incredibly dry, and the vegetation is more vulnerable to fires than ever before. With little rain to provide moisture, the land has turned into a tinderbox, ready to catch fire at the slightest spark. But why do these fires spread so quickly? Strong winds, reaching speeds of 160 kilometers per hour, have made it nearly impossible to control the flames. These gusts, combined with dry conditions, created a perfect storm for rapid fire spread. Since the beginning of the summer, Southern California has experienced almost no rainfall, which has turned vegetation into a volatile fuel source. Everything in the state is essentially primed for a wildfire. On January 7, 2025, a massive fire broke out along the Los Angeles coastline. The flames spread rapidly, and within hours, 10,000 homes were evacuated to ensure the safety of residents. In the Northeast, another fire erupted in Altadena, exacerbated by the powerful winds, making firefighting efforts nearly impossible. The combination of intense winds and dry conditions created a truly dangerous situation for both firefighters and residents. Satellite images from the affected areas showed the extent of the devastation. Entire neighborhoods in Altadena and nearby regions like Kinaloa Mesa were engulfed in flames. Some homes were completely destroyed before any evacuation could take place. Images from Angeles National Park also revealed homes along the Pacific coastline reduced to ash, showing the destructive force of these fires. While the dry air, low humidity, and strong winds are natural factors contributing to the spread of the fire, these fires are not entirely the result of nature. Human activity has played a significant role. When you compare the fire risk map with the population density map, it becomes clear that people are increasingly moving into high-risk areas. This has contributed to the fact that nearly 80% of wildfires in California are caused by human activity. For example, in 2010, a wildfire in Northern California destroyed over 100,000 hectares of land. The cause? A spark from a car tire rim. This seemingly small event sparked one of the most devastating fires in the state's history. Arson, power lines, and poorly maintained electrical infrastructure are some of the most common causes of these wildfires. A 2020 audit found that energy suppliers had not done enough to prevent fires, despite knowing the risks posed by their infrastructure. Urban sprawl and growing population density are also factors contributing to the growing wildfire risk. More and more people are moving into areas that are at high risk for fires, often because of their scenic views or proximity to major cities. As a result, California's wildfire problem is becoming more severe, with fires now spreading rapidly in regions that were once considered safe. As the fires continue to increase in intensity and frequency, it's clear that new strategies are needed to address this growing crisis. Fire prevention methods, including better land management, improved building codes, and stricter regulations on electrical infrastructure, are crucial. Emergency response systems also need to be updated to cope with the increasing scale of wildfires. In the meantime, California is faced with a stark reality. Wildfires are no longer a seasonal problem. The state's fire season has expanded to become a year-round threat, and this shift has far-reaching consequences for both residents and the environment. Each year, California faces a growing challenge in trying to manage these disasters, and without comprehensive reforms, the future remains uncertain. The threat of wildfires in California is something that must be addressed immediately, as the fires continue to rage and devastate communities. With more people moving into high-risk areas, the situation is becoming even more dangerous. The challenge ahead is clear: and it will require coordinated efforts from the government, emergency responders, and the public to mitigate the damage and prepare for future fires.